welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my August book haul. So I'm coming to you at the beginning of a new week because last week was probably one of the worst weeks ever, to be honest. We've had our water turned off since Friday and it's not going to be turned on until Thursday because there's been a serious leak somewhere in the building. So no flats have water. We do have bottles of water, but they're not very good, and I've literally just washed my hair today with that water and I don't know how long this is going to last. Also on Friday we're told that our train down to RTX London has been cancelled, so now I'm stressing about that because I need a seat on the train because I'm not standing up all the way from Leeds to London. And also when I got a takeout, my meal was left off the takeout. I've had a customer complain about me at work, and I haven't heard back from this really great job that I've really been wanting. So yeah, last week was, sorry about my language, but it was a bit shit, to be honest. But I did buy lots of books, which was great. Well, not really great because I was meant to be saving up for RTX, but yeah, I was bad this month. The first few books were from my book boxes that I got. The first one being from my Unbookfulness unboxing, which I will link that below, and that's The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. This was really lucky because this was actually on my Goodreads TBR already. This, I believe, follows a few children who go to see a fortune teller, and she basically tells them when they're going to die, and it follows them in the future. I'm not quite sure what happens. Obviously it might come to their death days, stuff like that, but it is an historic fiction set in 1969, and I think it'll be just really interesting. You know, what would you do if you knew when you were going to die? So I can't wait to give this a read. It sounds very interesting. Then I got the My Chronicle book box, and I got the sci-fi and fantasy box, and I will link that down below. And with that I got 3 books, which is great. One being Neil Asher's new book, The Soldier. I have never read a Neil Asher book before, but I believe he's very famous in the science fiction department. I read the blurb and it just sounded quite confusing, so I'm not going to go into it in any detail in this book haul, but it's more likely I'll tell you more once I've read it, or in my TBR when I've decided to read it and I've actually looked up what this is about. Then we were given an Ark of Witch Sign by Den Patrick, which is just so pretty when you look at it. This used to be on my TBR, but when I decided to stop reading YA, I took it off because I thought it was YA. I'm not 100% sure if it is or if it isn't, because my BookBox Chronicle is an adult book subscription. So this might be an adult book, I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember what this is about. I must have added it onto my TBR list for a reason, but then I must have also taken it off my TBR for a reason. But what made me interested was this little quote on the front saying, "May gods help those who bear the sign of the witch." So I don't know whether this is about, you know, maybe witches. It says dragons on the back, so I think this will be very interesting, and it'll also be good to read the Ark as well. If I like the Ark, I might go buy the actual hardback edition, because I know in the UK you can get this in hardback. And the last one in the My Chronicle book box is War in the Dark by Neil Stetchfield. This was on my TBR as well, so I've been really lucky with book boxes this month. This, I believe, is kind of like Civil War with magic. So there's a civil war going on, but like in the shadows people are using magic. That's what I got from the blurb, and that is the main reason why I put it on my TBR list, and also because it's set in 1963 as well, so I thought it's a great little fantasy historic fiction book, and I can't wait to give this a read. And I also just love this cover with the gold foil on, and it's set in London, well, Europe, and I just can't wait to look into it into a bit more detail and actually give it a read as well. I finally got the 3rd book in the Murder in Time series, and that is Carton Tire by Julie McLuhan. I love this series so much. You've probably heard me mention A Murder in Time and A Twist in Time. I love those so much. So I finally ordered the hardback edition of the 3rd book, which came out last month, but Waterstones cancelled my order because it's not available in hardback in the UK. But I went on to Book Depository and there it was in hardback, so it can match my whole series, which is just there. So I can't wait. I have not read the blurb yet because I am just going to go into this blind. I love the book. It's kind of like a murder mystery. Kenda was an FBI agent in America. When she went to chase a villain, basically, she ended up going back in time to England. Now she's in the past, and it's just great how she acts around all these men who think she's just a woman, and she's like, actually no. I do love it, and I really hope I get this read ASAP. So next, I got the next book in the Philippa Gregory series, because as you probably know by now, I'm reading one every month. This month I'm reading Three Sisters, Three Queens, which is a bit of a drag. You'll find out in my wrap up if I actually finish it, because I've been reading it for a week and I still haven't finished it. But September, I'm on the 9th book in the series, which is The Other Boleyn Girl, which is probably the most famous book in the series. This is the one that everyone has basically read. This is the one that was made into a film. A very good film apparently. I haven't watched it, but I might watch it when I finish this book. But this one follows, well, it doesn't follow Anne Boleyn, it follows Anne Boleyn's sister. I can't remember what she's called. Mary Boleyn. Mary Boleyn was Henry VIII's mistress, and she gives birth to a bastard, Henry's bastard. And when she's in confinement giving birth, she comes out of confinement to find out that Henry is now dating her sister, Anne Boleyn. And Anne Boleyn, I think everyone knows her, first of his wives to be beheaded. She gets quite political. Henry just basically falls in love with her. He wants to marry her, so he tries to take over the church. He can divorce Catherine. I think it's going to be very, very interesting, especially coming from Mary Boleyn's side. I didn't really know Anne Boleyn had a sister, but I can't wait to give this one a go. I just hope it's better than Three Sisters, Three Queens, and I want to see what all the hype is about this book. And the last one I got was a pre-order, and that's the volume 2 of the Ruby manga. This is Mira Mira, based on Waishni. This is an American anime by Rooster Teeth. It's great, you should really watch it. I will link Rooster Teeth below if you do want to watch it. This is basically lots of different short stories based by different fans, so there's different styles of art. And I loved the first one, which is based on Ruby, because she was just so cute and adorable. This one's Weiss. Next one will be Blake, which is out in November, and then I think the fourth one based on Yang will be out beginning of next year, I think. But I can't wait, because I am going down to RTX next month, so I'm hoping to take this and the Ruby one down, and I might maybe hopefully be able to get them signed. I know Lindsay, who voices Ruby, is going, and I know Barbara, who voices Yang, is going, but I don't think the other two are going, which is a bit upsetting, especially because Blake is my favourite one. But yeah, I can't wait to give this a go. It'll be a nice quick read. That's it for this book haul. Like I said, it's a lot longer than I hoped it'd be, but September, it's going to be a good month because there's so many good books coming out in September. So I have to hope that I stick to my September TBR to get loads of books out the way, because you'll see in my August wrap up that I haven't had a very good month due to things happening. But yeah, I will stop rambling, and I will see you later with a new video. Bye.